That was your mom. That was you.
Oh, that's the mom right there.
That was you.
That's the mom right there. And that's going to lead us right into this ass whooping. No, what's going on, Pillow
Whooping
Talkers?
ass in the AM, apparently. Okay.
What's going on, Pillow Talkers? It's me, him, Savon Greatness Patterson. And we are here with another edition of Pillow Talk. Got my lovely ladies, Miss Jackson.
Hey, what's up?
Little body in the big chair. How you doing, sweetheart?
They got jokes this morning. I'm
Little
doing
body
well.
in the big chair. And then we also got Jade. How you doing this morning, lady?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Hey, baby.
Doing all right. And I'm not going to call her a special guest. I'm going to, because it feels like old times.
Reunited.
And it feels so good.
Anyway, all of that. Y'all
that.
recognize that giggle, I'm sure.
Good morning,
Miss
guys.
Truth decided, Lady Truth decided to join us
I'm
today.
sitting in a guest chair today, y'all.
Right.
It's uncomfortable. We got to get our guests better chairs.
Low padding and all that.
She said it's uncomfortable.
I don't feel right over
It's
here.
all good. We're
That's
going to change
hilarious.
chairs in a second.
Well,
but
welcome back.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thanks for joining us. How you been? Where you been? What you been up to?
Everything, everywhere.
Everything, everywhere.
Just building an empire, y'all. That's all.
and
stay
she's
grinding.
doing such a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Doing it. Just watching from the outside in, I've just been proud of her going after it because I know how stressful it can be
Man.
when you're trying to be in the spotlight but not be in the spotlight.
Yes. I want to just stay home, y'all. I really miss
Ain't nobody
my
gonna
home.
let you stay home.
It felt so good to just like chill with my kids yesterday and eat hella Chinese food and snacks, and Nemo got so full he passed out.
I
But
even
we had
took
a
your
good time.
advice. I got some rest yesterday too. You like don't do
Yes.
nothing. Just
It's needed.
take this day, and I did that. I
Savani
didn't do
rest
nothing.
today, though.
And that's probably not going to happen. But
Can't stop, won't stop.
We keep it pushing because
But
there's
you
so
don't want
much
your
more
body
to
to give
achieve.
out.
Oh no, we've had that discussion already.
Yeah, you got to give
When the
yourself
body
a little
gives
rest.
out, it'd be bad news. It'd be bad news. You just be sitting in the bed, just looking at the ceiling, like, "Am I dying?"
All right,
Is
baby,
this
you
it?
get on top. Can't do it.
That
You know?
no, I don't even want the laziness to pop in like that. I'm just
Hey,
gonna
that
reserve
might
it.
give you some motivation to get it back up and popping. No,
When the
ain't
body
happening.
shuts
Muscles
down,
done. It's done.
when the body shuts down, it shuts down. But no, we're not leading down that road. It's just better time management with the sleep. That's how
Absolutely.
we're gonna approach
Time management. I'm working on that.
I was gonna say good luck with that, Miss Jade.
Hello.
What's up with you?
Working.
How
It's
you
been
doing?
a
Where you
busy
been?
week.
Busy. What you been doing?
So we're having specials right now at Bear Beauty Bar,
Yes.
and we've been popping.
I'm gonna be
all
in there
week.
next week. I need the brows and the lashes. $30 lashes, right?
$30
brows,
lashes,
$20.
$20 for the brow tints.
Combo.
Combo $50.
Woo woo. Yeah, y'all gonna get me fabulous. I'm tired of drawing these brows on in the morning, man.
Last night we did an event at Soulfully Scented, and it was amazing.
I missed it.
Nice.
It looks so nice.
We took shots of black seed oil.
That stuff
Shots.
is so gross.
Yeah.
How was
Ooh,
it?
that's some nasty stuff.
To me, it's not nasty because I take it every day.
What's the purpose?
It helps with your immune system.
Okay.
It helps build it up, make sure like your body is strong. For me, I take it for my cysts and everything, and it helps them flush it out. My mom takes it for just to have more energy. If you're feeling sick, you have a cold, Tavon, you should probably take it. It'll
I
help
was
you rest a
totally
little bit.
under the impression that was the newest alcoholic beverage.
We
But,
had
So funny.
that is the
black
male,
seed oil. That didn't sound organic.
It sounded like Hennessy and Black Red Bull or something. Like, I don't know. It
Lord,
He done made a whole
sounded like
cocktail.
Hennessy and Red Bull.
That is so
That's what
funny.
You back
translated
to
into my
cognac
mouth.
conversations is what it sound like with all these mixers and
It
stuff.
does have a lot of health benefits, though. I have to mix mine with honey when I take it. I can't just do it by itself.
And it's
then I
oil,
squeeze a
so it's
lemon.
like thick like oil.
It's thick.
Yeah, it's thick. But it has, like, it's worth it. I take it. Not every day because I can't do it every day, but I try to take it at least twice a week.
Like cod liver oil thickness. Have you ever had cod liver oil?
Yeah, that's gross.
Thick
too.
like that?
No, it's not that
it's not
thick.
that
No,
thick.
it's not that thick. But it has a, like, look it up for real. Y'all need it in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can even mix it in with your tea if you're a tea drinker.
Don't do that because your whole tea gonna be nasty.
Thank you. Because I'm a tea lover and don't be jacking up my tea.
My bad.
Thank you. You know, I put some CBD oil in my tea.
How
though.
does it go in Hennessy? Has anybody?
This guy right
No,
here.
You
no,
and your Hennessy.
no, don't put it in the Hennessy.
Speaking of Hennessy, we had an amazing Friday night.
It was good.
Absolutely.
Anything was possible. Cognac Conversations. It was great to see the Beat family. The
and so your
Noise
champagne kicked
podcast. Man, shut up. We ain't talking about that. That was a bad situation. Shout out to Beauty and the Drink for them strong ass drinks.
Thank you, sister.
They were good.
Those
They were
strong
good.
ass drinks, they were very, very good. But as I should know with Yolanda's drinks, Monique, man, they creep. They like
do.
really creep up on you because I was good. Had a little party with Mr. Taylor and Lex Love and went back to get this second drink, only my second drink. And man, the after effects. I was praying to the porcelain god. I don't even think I made it to the porcelain god. Shut up. Then I might ask you.
Yeah.
It was nasty, man. It was. It was nasty, but it was a party. It was a party. I had fun.
It was a great turnout, great speakers. The content was real. People were engaging in conversation. It was a conversation that needed to be had.
Yes.
Like, it was good. It was real good.
Yes. And then baked potatoes.
Yeah, them twice baked deliciousness. Shout out to Twice Baked, y'all. Y'all know, anytime I talk about them potatoes, I get happy.
I love baked potatoes. Anyway, I told her, you are my new best friend. They big.
But wait till you have the bacon potato.
Really?
Like, no.
I mean, she did it with the chicken for me. Chicken with
listen,
the bacon.
But listen, Linda. The bacon potato will change your life. I just want you to know that.
Shout out to Twice Baked.
Yes.
LV.
I might have to call her. Now
Yeah,
I want a potato.
I was impressed with the potato.
That was cracking.
I
So
was-
you
I
guys
was
get your
impressed.
potatoes. Cognac Conversations 2 coming up. Make sure you tune in.
Congratulations, the noise again.
Absolutely. And if you weren't there, too bad for you. You missed the fuck out. But there's always next time.
The fuck out.
Little
For real,
Little
the
body
fuck
in the
out.
big chair. Little body in the big chair. Little body in the big
You
chair.
know, I got some things on my mind today. I'm coming with a little aggression. We're talking about domestic violence. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
I just want to say, outside of October being the dopest month because it's my birthday, it's probably one of the dopest
I don't say
holidays.
it's dope because they beating on bitches. Like what? Okay.
No, see, little body in the big chair. October is a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of awareness.
It's a lot of awareness. Like if you go into October unaware, we gonna aware the fuck out your ass. Like we gonna make you aware towards the final end of the year. So domestic violence, we got breast cancer,
Yes.
Mental.
mental health,
awareness.
mental health.
Yes.
That
aware,
crazy
be
month,
aware.
October.
All kinds of stuff going on.
Oh, and then the 30th, we crack it off. We cap it off with my birthday and Halloween. Super dope.
I don't
Oh,
like
that makes some
Halloween.
sense.
Super dope.
Devil's child.
Listen,
Spawn of the
don't,
devil.
don't hate Halloween. Like if you hate Halloween, you're a poor soul. It's candy.
must
It's
be a
It's the
poor
candy.
soul.
devil's
Because,
holiday. Devil's holiday.
It's really nice. It's really just an
It is
American
ghouls
holiday.
and
Yeah.
demons.
But people
and
dress up as
ghosts
angels
and
and princesses and queens.
It's all about how you dress up.
I used to dress up
I
like
ain't
a
with the
hoe.
ghouls and girl.
Hence why domestic
It's
violence.
hard for you.
Hence why domestic violence became awareness in
Campaign
October.
strong.
Ain't nobody beating on themselves.
Stupid.
But on a more serious note, yes, this is domestic violence awareness. This is the domestic violence episode. And I would like to say, as a man, I don't think domestic violence is tolerated. But I also believe in this new age, it has become more both-sided than ever before.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
men out here getting their ass beat too.
It's always been both-sided. It just hasn't been talked about.
Yes.
Men been getting their ass beat for a long time. And domestic violence is not just physical. It's a mental thing, too.
Absolutely.
And women, we know we could be so bad with the mouth. And you can truly, truly, like, bring somebody to suicide with your mouth.
Little body in the big chair.
Oh, I got that. I have that.
Her mouth is bad.
Fire tongue. Fire tongue. I spit fire. I do. But you got to get me there. I try not to get there. But if you get me there, my line name ain't firecracker for no damn reason. It's going to pop off. It's going to happen. Just don't light that fuse. But yeah, I mean, it didn't come from nowhere. I was getting my ass beat. I was subjected to physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse in different relationships. So, I mean, it brought about this hard exterior and like, I don't know. You just can't talk to me anyway. So maybe my mouth got me popped a few times too, but
no, the things you say shouldn't bring nobody to put their hands on you. That's one thing that's not okay with me. Somebody attempted it with me and he almost lost his life. Like I don't get down that way. I will do I will. Or shoot. I mean, whichever I can grab first. But, no, a mouth, like if you can't handle somebody saying something to you, that's a problem within yourself. Like men, yeah, women, we got mouths. And it's, our bark normally is a lot stronger than our bite. And so I need for you to just go outside, take a woosah moment. Or, I mean, sometimes you got the permission to kind of like grab us by the shoulders and be like, look, I'm a grown ass man, dog. We not finna be talking to each other like this. Mr. Taylor had to do it when we first got together. He literally grabbed them shoulders and was like, look.
Shook that shit out of you?
You, ma'am. No, what he told me is, I'm not them. I didn't do that to you.
Yeah.
So we not gonna have this conversation. So yeah, I worked on my mouth. Cause that was the first time somebody checked me. So I had to be checked. But, the like I said, talking shouldn't lead to you getting hands put on you. But also you said Mental Health Awareness Month. A lot of people got real mental issues.
Yeah.
And they don't deal with them. In our community, for sure, they don't deal with them.
Oh, yeah, we hide them, sweep them under the rug all the way.
And so that's one thing that I would advise everybody. If you're having those rage moments, please, like, handle that. Therapy is not just for white people, y'all.
Yeah, because usually there's probably a more deep-seated underlying issue as to why you can't control yourself and keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How you feel about it, Miss Jade?
So for me, I've been shaken up before, but I was playing games. He went through my phone.
She admitted it, y'all. She admitted it.
I admit it. And I was playing games, so he went through my phone. So he shook me up a little bit. But I've never dealt with the physical side of abuse. Mentally, yeah, and I'm still getting over this. It just happened last year. So I'm still trying to get over that mental domestic abuse. And
so is it like verbal, like just talking down to you, or like when you say mental?
He tried to convince me that I was something that I know that I'm not, and try to make me go against my moral codes and how I was raised and pimp shit.
Okay. Break you to build you up.
Yeah, break you to build you type thing. And so lucky and prayerfully, I'm so glad my mom prayed for me in that, because Lord knows if she wasn't, I would have still been with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like to talk about that, but I think it's not necessary. And for me, I'm never one I don't poke at people. I don't try to like talk down on people or anything. So for me, when I see someone getting upset or I see someone getting angry, I'm like, I know I'm very cautious with my words. So for anyone to get upset with me, I'm like, okay, well,
something wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm like, this really isn't my issue. And for me, I'm always the type of person that, let me try to fix you. Let me try to figure it out. But then I've learned that it's not my job to fix another person.
How many of us women are healers? Like we feel like it's our job to fix you. I can make you better. Oh, they're going through this. So, but they haven't been with me. I'm going to make you a better person.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't been loved the right way. You haven't had somebody to support you and go through
to fix you, Tavon?
Can you be fixed?
No, yes, I can. I think what I ran into was women trying to fix me to fit what they wanted out of a man. And it got to a point where it changed my total dynamic. And I was in a relationship where I told the woman, I said, look, you want me to be like this. And I can be like this, but I'm not going to be the best me. So if I'm not the best me, then you're going to be fucking with an imitation. Like you're going to be fucking with a false pretense of what you want.
Right. And
that's not what you want. Because if I can't be me and if I can't be the best me possible for you, then we're just not going to work. I've always looked at domestic violence as a coward act. I've not necessarily been a part of the physical aspect. I've had very, very heated verbal disputes that led me to say, you know what, I have to leave. Got to take a walk. I got to go chill.
Good for you.
With some, just because I felt
that rage.
I felt that rage, and I've seen it. I've seen it. You've
seen it in yourself, or
I've seen it in my family. Okay. I've seen it happen, and I always thought to myself, man, I could never get to that point. But there were times where it was something different in me, feeling like, if you don't uppercut this motherfucker. So
I mean, that's not funny, y'all.
It's not funny,
today.
but
it's coming from Savon, y'all. We can't help it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I thanked the universe and I thank God for having that willpower and that mindset to know, you reaching boundaries that you're not with.
So do you think it's learned behavior? Because I know you said you saw it and this was something that you had seen. So do you think that some of these, even men and women, these offenders, it's
absolutely because I've seen it from both sides, and not just I also had to understand that domestic violence wasn't necessarily just the physical aspect.
Yeah.
I've seen and I've witnessed people from both sides, men and women, like verbally and mentally tear a person down to the core. And I was always baffled by how people would just allow that and just stick it out or say, everything is going to be all right when it's clear that it's not.
I think it's because you still have hope in that same person that you had met. Like you were like, okay, well, he was this way when we first met, so I know he can stay that way when it was really just a facade. And
even with watching that, even with watching how a person would see a relationship going down, and then a couple weeks later you're with that person, and then I would be like, we just watched live and live in color how they treated that person, but you think you're different, and you are different, but they're not. Right. You know what I mean?
That's good right there. You just said it. You're different, but they're still that same person.
Yeah, and it's always been. I've always tried to think about how we've been as a community, how we've been portrayed. How I was grew up, we were an aggressive people. We were a loving people as well, but it got to a point where I think the stigma of how men are supposed to treat women and how women are supposed to treat men, I think it just got twisted up, and we've allowed media, we've allowed different aspects of characters depict how we are to act in real life. And I think that's where it gets mentally swindled, and people react on how they see others on TV, in movies, in music.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming. And I think, I don't know where we go outside of, making sure that mental health is highly taught and highly accessible.
Education. That's what I was going to say. That's where we go with education.
And self-love.
And self-love. I'm more leaning towards the self-love because there's just a lot of people that are still depending on other people
to find
out who you are. And I'm like, you never gonna find that.
And then also with Black women, we're kind of losing our amount of Black men that actually want a Black woman.
Devin, we're gonna argue with you about that.
That's fine,
one.
Devin. We can sit down and have a real conversation. But no, I'm gonna keep it transparent, and I might hurt a lot of feelings. So Black women, with us being so strong and so independent, we become a little too independent. And I was that super independent. Like, I got my own house, I have a great job, I have my own car, I got kids I'm taking care of. Like, I don't need you. And I had to stop saying that, because I absolutely do need a man. Like, women, you need your helpmate. Like, you absolutely do need someone, period. And so with our mouths and with the way that we are, it comes from past hurt. Like, we touched on it a little bit at Cognac Conversation. It goes back to slavery. Like, it's deep rooted. These are generational curses that we have to break down. Mm-hmm. And it's like, who's going to be that brave one to break it down? Men, I feel like the aggressiveness, like, for example, the pimps, it is an insecurity within themselves to where they feel like they can't be a man unless they are that way. They have to control a situation. So why not control the women? To me, that's punk shit. I don't care who you are. Be mad at me. Call a spade a spade. It's punk shit.
Domestic violence has a lot to do with control, though.
Exactly. And so these pimps breaking, whether it's mentally or some do physically.
Both.
That is bitch shit. I don't respect it at all. Like, when I was out there just being transparent, I wasn't finna have no pimp. You got me fucked up.
Gonna be a renegade.
If I'm gonna have a sugar daddy,
yes,
and I'm gonna be making my money, this is my money. I'm not handing that shit over to you. Like, what you think this
freelance,
is?
Okay.
But it's, as far as for the domestic violence and why they act out in rages, because they haven't conquered what that hurt is within themselves. And self-healing, it's an ugly process, you guys. It doesn't feel good sometimes. You have to see yourself for who you are. And sometimes looking at yourself, you ugly, like, you're really ugly sometimes. And then if you can't accept it, then you're going to lash out to the closest thing next to you. And if you're in a relationship, it's going to be that person. Or if you were growing up and you seen daddy beat the hell out of mama, or mom talk to dad real out of line, like break him down to where he didn't feel worthy.
That may be normal.
You as a woman, you're going to do that too.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely
or
not
as
okay.
men pick this
men as well.
Men pick this up too. They pick it up as well. Well, that's what a man is supposed to do. That's what dad did. Let me show you. Okay. I'm in charge. I'm wearing these pants.
That's not how it goes, y'all. Like, it's up to you to break down those generational curses. Like, you have to. Like, I feel like our generation, like us, them, you know, late 20s, early 30s, like, it's kind of like we're this different kind of generation. We've already changed a lot. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're addressing a lot and we're speaking up a lot more about things that are going on. I lost 2 really good friends to domestic violence. My best friend, Brittany, as well as her brother. So their mom lost both of, you know, her kids to domestic violence. So Brittany was shot by her children's father and Brandon was shot by his girlfriend. Now, Brittany's father, the children's father, the person who killed her, he is locked up. He, you know, was charged. And so it still is not going to give that family Brittany back. She left kids. And how do you tell, you know, the kids, well, your mom's not here because your dad killed her. Right. It's like that. Who wants to have that conversation? And so his was mental. He dealt with mental illness. He had a lot of things. And when he was off his meds, he became a different person. And so I'm not excusing it. But that's why I always talk about mental health. It's important, you guys, because if you have a moment to where you spaz, like that moment, like in my best friend's situation, that ended a life. Yeah. Because you didn't go make sure that you were handling your business when you knew something was off in your psyche. Like, take care of that. But as far as for this other situation, she was not charged. And yeah, I'm talking about it. Her dad's a cop. And there were no charges because she said it was self-defense, but you have no bruises. There was nothing going on. He raised his voice, so you shot him. Again, conversations shouldn't lead to death or
he raised his voice.
He raised his voice. She feared because he raised his voice. So my question is, had he ever put hands on you? Her answer was no. Had he ever, you know, even grabbed you, pushed you? No. So what'd you fear for? So sorry, y'all. I got a little upset because domestic violence it's real important. I've seen a lot of people I've grown up with either shoot someone because of an argument or because of whatever. And it's just, it's not okay in any form because kids are losing their parents. People are losing their kids. And it's all because you're angry for that moment. Like Tavon said, go outside and take a walk. Go smoke if you need to. Have a little cognac. No, that might enhance some of y'all. Smoke.
Go to the gym
if you need to.
Go to the gym.
Go
work it
to
out.
the gym. Start boxing. But then also go see a doctor.
Yeah.
If you can bring yourself to get that angry to where you can't bring it back down, it's something you need to address. And you really need to address it. Because let me find out you putting hands on somebody.
And it's happening to our kids. You say kids, like it's in high schools now. Even our teenagers are being subjected to domestic violence and these violent relationships, sexual assault. I like my research. And when I was looking, there's this organization, nomore.org, and they focus on sexual assault and domestic violence. And part of their statistics, I guess it was shocking, but then again, it wasn't. It said 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men were sexually abused before the age of 18. That's deep.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I thought it was less than 6. I guess that they know of.
It says 1 in 9 men and 1 in 4 women experience violence from their partners at some point in their lifetime. So when you're in a room, it's 3 of us. We have 1 more lady. How many of us have been you want to be a lady today?
No. Not at all.
Not today. Not
today. Nope.
Nah, bruh.
Nope.
Nah, bruh. But I mean, I know I personally have. I'm on the ground. We're the neighbors.
Mind their business.
We're the neighbors, but
Right.
that's why it's still domestic violence still persists, because people are afraid to speak up.
Yes.
People are silent. People try to remain ignorant, and there are signs. You know, there are a lot of signs that we choose to ignore, even from our family members or our friends who are in these type of relationships.
Mm-hmm. But then sometimes, even when you want to help them, some of them are not ready for help.
That too.
They're not accepting of it because they don't want to admit it yet.
Oh, he just having a bad day. Yeah, I did it. It was me.
And with those, I'm not friends where I'm going to just have to stop fucking with you because I am the protective friend. And if I know something's wrong, don't bring that person around me.
Because I'm going to fight him.
Or I'm going to ask him, like, what the fuck's going on with you? Like, why do you think it's okay to do what you're doing?
But that's good. We need friends like that. You are a good friend. That's what you're supposed to do.
I feel like that's why my friends don't be coming to my house and stuff. And that's why I don't get phone calls that often, because I'm not friend. But you guys just know that I come from a real place. Like, I've lost a friend because I felt guilty. Because she would joke all the time and be like, yeah, I can't do that because Kevin going to end up killing me. We're laughing because everybody knew she was serious. Everybody knew he was crazy, like in real life. So we laughing. I'm not really, I was younger. This was like 9 years ago. So I was not where I am now. So we laughing it off like, like, girl, he might, like, just doing stuff like that. And she was really telling us. In a joking matter.
He's abusive.
Like he must have said
something happens to me, it's him.
Right. And so now, friends, I apologize if I'm a little extra. It's because I'm not losing one of y'all. Like I already lost one. I'm not doing it again. So yeah, y'all got to pay attention to them subtle jokes.
Or even the other, like there's other signs as well.
Yeah, like shutting themselves off.
That part.
Completely just isolating themselves.
Isolation from family and friends.
Because that means they don't have to talk about it. If
or they're
not
embarrassed.
around you, they don't have to talk about it.
Or they're hiding these wounds and these scars.
Hey, what you doing? I ain't talked to you in a minute. Where you at? I'm gonna come over you home.
FaceTime me so I can see you.
That part.
But sometimes in those situations, the abuser gets them isolated. Mm-hmm. They try to convince them that, they don't care about you. They're not your friends. Mm-hmm. They don't really love you. Mm-hmm. So that way it's easier to get away with the abuse. Mm-hmm. So no one's going to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's very
true.
To
all the mates of my friends, I do pop-ups. Just so you know.
And I do drive-bys. I ride.
I'm just saying.
You trying to go to jail on the show?
I didn't say I was doing a drive-by with a gun. I said I do drive-bys, like Rihanna G4L. You with me, girl? I'm with you. We riding. Like, let's ride. Let's see what it's
at. Jay think KC out here really just shooting people.
Right. I'm a thug, but I ain't that kind of thug. I'm
body in a big
trying
chair.
To practice nonviolence, That's all.
Even though I could truly see you in the...
I'm like
Fleetwood,
I'm like Truth. I'm protective about my friends. I'm highly protective, and I've been this size my whole life, so I ain't afraid.
Yeah,
you got a little woman syndrome.
Pitbull, little chihuahua. Little chihuahua.
Yeah, I've always
ankle biters.
I've had 2 instances where I've intervened, and
How'd you do that?
In domestic violence. Well, the one time it was we were at a gathering, friends, card games, drinking. Everybody's having a good time. Something is said. Man gets up, starts swinging.
Oh, he just got up and started swinging.
Yeah. And it was just like...
That wasn't the first time he hit her.
You know what I mean?
He was too comfortable.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time.
So immediately, because I've never been an advocate of watching a man hit a woman.
Right.
Like, from me growing up seeing it, and it didn't happen in my immediate household, but I saw it from afar. When people think I didn't see it, I saw it. So I was never a fan of that. So when that happened, I instantly went into, I'll protect this whole home front. And in the midst of doing that, I was told I was out of line. And
mind your business.
It baffled me to the point where.
So she told you that, or he told you that?
She told me that. And I was like,
battered woman syndrome.
What? And this is somebody that I was friends with like a long time. Like they knew me, I knew them, I knew family, all that. And
that's why we don't speak up. That's why people are afraid to speak up and intervene.
And when the dust settled and I was told that, I was completely baffled. Like, what do you mean? And then, when the information started coming out, when I found out, like, that's not the first time. Because to us, and the way that it happened, we're thinking, wow, this never happened before. Like, amongst the friends, like, we've never witnessed this.
She was good at hiding it.
And so when it came out, like, this was a frequent thing. I was just like, are we friends? Like, I was like, are we friends? Because this is weird.
Something you should have told me.
And I respected her wishes. I'll say, okay, well, if that's how you rolling these days, okay, well, that's fine. And then the second instance, it was complete strangers. But
hold on 1 second. Backtrack. So are you still friends with this woman?
No.
Mm-mm. Is she still with him?
No.
That you're aware of?
No. Okay. But even with them not being together, like, she doesn't understand how bad that fucked with me. So like, we're friends. I protected you, and you told me that I was wrong for doing it. Like, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that was something in her. That wasn't you. You did what you were supposed to do.
Because one, I could have lost because the nigga was big. You know what I'm saying? I could have lost. You know what I mean? I had to take real tactical approaches to this nigga. You know what I mean? But it was, that hurt me to a core because I was like, I don't want to be associated with somebody who will continually live that lifestyle. Right. And then put that type of stress on me, because if we're friends and I lose you to that.
Right.
Then you're leaving me with that. And that's unfair. Yeah, that's even more of a burden. I'm not with that. I got enough death burdens to hold me over. I'm cool with it.
Right.
So, and then the second instance, they were complete strangers. And it was just something that I was just like, look, man, y'all gotta chill.
So you were out in public?
Yeah. Okay. I was like, y'all gotta chill. And I was reserved at first. I was reserved again because I had that image of the first time. And I was like, well, that was my friend. So I know complete strangers is going to look totally out of line. But I observed and I noticed that instead of people intervening, they just really wanted to spectate.
They just wanted to watch.
And I was like, nah, y'all got to chill. Like, y'all got to just take this home. Like, this shit shouldn't be publicized. And it wasn't physical violence. It was just the pure, we in the restaurant, we ratchet. Motherfuckers asking us to leave. We ain't leaving, such and such like that. But y'all still arguing amongst each other. I'm like, look, it's not how it's supposed to go.
And it can escalate. So to prevent it from escalating to that point.
Yeah, and they can escalate. And I'm like, so look, we all going to leave together because this is my opportunity to get a free meal. And so,
nothing to play with him.
Yeah, so it was just I couldn't rock with that. But it's amazing that when you see it and when you intervene, like, there's different levels. Like, some people are built to be like, you know what, I'm not tolerating this, I'm out. and can be out and can be satisfied and go live their best life. And then there's others who hold on to that in lieu of hope and in lieu of saying, well, I just believe that this won't happen again.
Or just wanting someone so bad.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people,
loneliness.
they don't want to be by themselves. So they're like, well, ain't nothing else really out there. So I'm going to just hold on to this. Yeah, he might talk to me crazy. Yeah, he might beat my ass sometimes, but
that's not
he
love,
still
sis.
come home and we still got a family together. That's not a family.
And they do it for the kids. And then you're teaching your kids this behavior.
That's my problem with it. You are showing it.
You're condoning it.
You're showing them that this is okay.
Yeah.
And this is the way love is supposed to go.
Yeah.
So you're continuing to fuck up generations and generations to come, and it's not okay. Even when me and Brandon, when we have our little moments and our voice happens to raise, Nemo is down them stairs. Y'all all right down here? Dad, you mad? Don't talk to my mom like that. Like this, because we teach them love, hugs, kisses. Like my son, you talk to women correct.
Yeah.
Like he had a little moment where he decided he was going to tell a little girl she was ugly. Son, she might have been, but don't tell her that. Like you got to treat little, like compliment her outfit. Like if she not pretty in the face, say you have a really nice dress on. So
he
like
told her she was ugly. I can't.
You're really good at school.
I really admire how you write your name.
The school thing you got down perfect.
But it's just it's a respect thing, and even with my daughter, like sometimes I have to catch myself because when I'm mad at Brandon, I may not say it to him, but I'll walk up the stairs and be like, "This motherfucker get on my fucking nerves," and I'm just going off, and I'll be like, "All right, let me check myself." And so I had a talk with Gianni, and I'm like, "Your dad's not perfect." I said, but he's a good man. Yeah. I said, so let me explain to you the difference between when we argue and when you argue and it gets toxic. And it sucks. I got to have this conversation with a 14-year-old.
No, that's real.
But I was watching Greenleaf, that show.
Oh. And Zora is getting her ass beat.
She getting her ass beat. She's so attached to this boy that has beat her ass, and she has her cousin
he
telling her.
He started off talking to her
like,
bad.
Yeah, she's like, you're stupid. Like, why? And so she's lashing off on her entire family because she wants this boy. She has to have this boy
but you know why?
Now he's controlled her.
Because she grew up in this strict ass household.
And she don't get it.
And they sheltered her.
She's rebelling now.
And exactly. So now she has this love and she found it. And who cares if it hurts and if it's wrong and it goes against everything. Like you said, like her cousin told her, you're smart. You're pretty. He down talks you.
And they don't hear it.
He talks bad to you in front when he downed her in the studio. You don't talk unless I talk. If you don't like it, you don't say nothing.
And this girl on the show we're talking about, you guys, she's like 16, 15,
yeah.
16.
She's
and I'm bringing up this story because it's real. Like, talk to your kids.
Because they're going through it.
Or your little sisters or whatever. I mean, I started young. My kid is 14 already. But talk to these young people. They need to know the difference between what is real love and what's not love. Because TV's not really going to show them. I mean, I can't say watch The Cosby Show no more. But, yeah, damn, Bill. But, in all honesty.
While we on sexual assault,
Bill.
right?
Damn, but Bill. Heathcliff, hey,
Jeez.
guys.
Huxtable. Like now when people be like, you and Brandon like the Huxtables. No. We can be like Martin and Gina. Like, let's just.
George and Wheezy moving on up.
Like, man, damn it, Bill, you broke my heart. But no, in all seriousness, there's really not too much on television that that's showing our young people how to truly like love and hip hop. Like it got love in it, but y'all for real.
Because it's either sex equals love or like there's no real examples of what it's like to truly be loved and have a respect. Well,
and how to love yourself.
They don't teach that. And you have to be raised with it. Like my mom and my dad raised us with love. So when I got older and realized that for a while, I thought everybody was raised like we were. And I was like, oh, everyone's like me. Everyone's going to be friendly. They're going to be kind. Yeah, I was real rainbows and butterflies in my head until I got to my last job. And I was like, oh, okay. Not everybody was raised the same way as me. Not everyone has the same morals as I do. Right. Not everybody grew up with love.
That like, stable, loving household.
Like when they're talking about their moms and how they hate their mom or how they hate their siblings, I'm like, how the fuck do you hate your siblings?
Like what?
Exactly.
I'm like, what? Exactly. You hate your sister? I'm like, oh, okay. So they grew up not understanding.
Broken.
Yeah, very broken. And then a lot of them come from single households where I came from. I had both my parents and I still have both of them together. So they see those broken relationships at a young age. And so when they get someone, they try to cling on to it.
Yeah.
Because of course they do. Everybody wants that stable, that 2-home relationship or anything. So they try to cling on to whatever is closest, not knowing that that man grew up broken or that woman grew up broken. They don't care. They just...
all that baggage that they're
all that
coming
baggage.
with.
And I don't think parents understand how much they pass it down to their kids. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Some parents, like my ex, for instance, the one that I was talking about, I know for a fact his mom tried her hardest. She had 4 kids in San Bernardino. Mm. So I don't know if you guys know where San Bernardino is. But,
San Bernardino's a tough
she had 4 kids
too.
in San Bernardino as a single parent. And I know for a fact, I met her. She tried her hardest with all the kids. But when you have more pimps, you have more gangsters, and you have prostitutes surrounded around you all the time, of course that's going to affect you.
And that's
it's learned behaviors.
Vegas, Sin City, pimp mentality. All these dudes want to be pimps.
The other day, it was just like 2 weeks ago, I went to the hair store. And I was telling a girl, because I was pulling in, and I was like telling her, oh, just come to your car before I open my door. And then the dude starts screaming at her. So I'm like, oh, shit. So either way, I get out my car to go into the store. And he was like, you want to see me hit her? And I was like, what? I was like, no. He was like, what the fuck are you doing calling her over? I was like, I'm not calling her over. I was just seeing that she wanted to get into the car. So just let her get into the car. He was like, well, now I'm about to beat her ass. I'm like, okay.
Well, sir, now I'm going to call the police on you.
No, I didn't know what to do.
We're just going to sit here.
I was really one of those, let me
leave.
mind my business. Because I'm like, if he's doing this that openly, and I'm by myself. It was 2 men and the 1 girl. So I was like, let me just get my ass in the store.
Sis, you better than me. Because he'd have been like, you want... Go ahead.
Let's do it. We all going to be fighting.
I dare you. Because I may not be able to beat your ass, but you going to feel me. You going to feel this mace and this taser, too. So go ahead. Go ahead. I want to see it. Try it, please. And
not
I
on
stood
duty.
right in front of her. She don't know me.
Not on duty.
But no, I'm not finna sit and watch, and I'm finna put 911 on speaker so they can hear all of this go down.
Exactly.
So you want to go to jail or you want to go home? Which one you want to do? Because maybe I need to start minding my business.
You know, because sometimes that makes it worse on them.
It does. And I gotta remember that because she's still gonna leave with them, and I gotta get out of that. I'm a fighter by nature, y'all.
I understand.
I'm learning. Brandon be telling me to mind my business, even when it comes to my friends, and I be wanting to like really, really like shake the shit out of them. Like, are you serious right now?
And I think taking the reserve approach is probably what's enhanced the domestic violence, the openness of it, is because now we've fallen into this everybody just mind your own business mentality. But then it's like, but as a community, you want to see things get better.
Yes.
But you're constantly pressing the notion to mind your own business. And that's where it doesn't make sense.
I mean, but we say say something when it comes to terrorism and all of this other stuff. See something, say something. But it's okay to watch this woman sit up here or even this man sit up here and be abused and mistreated. You know where it's going to lead.
Right.
And we just don't say nothing. We have a blind eye and turn the other cheek.
Yeah, because I remember even with growing up and when we would have like fights amongst kids, and I would see like how in some cases like the community would come out and this was before camera phones, this was before, and this was word of mouth.
Would just watch.
The whole neighborhood would watch. Now, in some cases, the neighborhoods would watch because they would be like, okay, this bully, we need somebody to whoop his ass. So
Debo.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking that.
It was that. But I understood in some cases as to why some people, like the community, would be like, nah, y'all gonna fight, get this off because y'all need to get this off. But then there was some cases where you just knew like this isn't, the energy here doesn't feel right, but won't nobody jump in. Why? And stop this. And there were cases where I would just be like, yo, somebody really need to jump in here and stop this. This is a massacre. He's getting killed out here. But it was always, I was lucky enough to always be in the community where there was like this one, like pioneer old head.
Yeah, them old
that would, even after the fight, he would have the two people come and be like, okay,
and talk to him now.
Y'all good now?
Y'all good?
Y'all square?
because how much further y'all think y'all gonna be able to take this? Because this is gonna lead to this is gonna lead to that,
right.
This is gonna lead to that. And then you had communities where it would spread, because now this kid is fighting this kid, and then this kid go get his older brother, and then this kid go get his older brother. Then you got cousins pulling up from the whole other side of the city, and they
done came from out of town.
So now it's like, yeah, they done came from out of town. So then it's like, all right, so we went from a community of 200 to now it's 2,000 people out here. But then you got people talking about, well, no, if y'all had just minded y'all business. No, we can't, because now we got a whole bunch of outside people in here trying to do what? All because this nigga wore K-Swiss when we told him not to wear K-Swiss.
And it would be something as simple as that.
It's something as simple as that.
And I think that spectator mentality, and y'all know, I promise I always bring it back to slavery, because that's what really started how we act here.
Right.
When someone would get beat, all you could do was watch. And
Right.
they would bring you out so that you would watch it and could see it, so that you could then fear it.
Right.
Right.
And so that was it's learned. Even though it's different now, it's learned. We're just
Definitely
gonna watch.
conditioned.
We can't do anything about it, but we gonna watch, and then we gonna talk about it. And then now this person is like, well, I got my ass whipped, but now I gotta go back, learn some moves, and come back, or I gotta go get a gun, because I'm not gonna let this dude punk me, depending on what type of neighborhood you lived in.
Right.
So all of this, sit back and watch and don't do nothing, don't say nothing. Like, yeah, it's learned behavior, but you guys, we have to break out of it. Okay, so you're not like me. You're not going to jump all into it. That's fine. I got to stop doing it. I got kids at home.
So how do we have these conversations?
But my thing is you see something happen, call somebody. Like, honestly, if you're not going to jump in it, if you're not going to do anything about it, call
But
the
say
cops.
it's your friend that's going through this. How do you have this conversation with a friend or family member, especially when you feel like stay in your lane? Like,
my way has changed. So I'll bring it up a couple times to you. But if I see that
bring
you're
it up
not,
like how? Like, are you just going to say, like,
No.
how do you, like,
oh no, you know
school
how
us?
I
Like,
talk,
how-
Casey.
So for
I'm not
people
gonna do this
give us a little bit of a more tactful way to, like, or just
So I'm
some
just
tips.
gonna give a
How?
random. You text. Let's just say a friend texts me and say, "This nigga just put his hands on me." This is the first message I'm getting from you. This nigga just put his hands on me. My thing is okay. So where are you and where is he? That's my first
You
question.
need to leave.
My question is, where are you? I'm telling you how this will go. Where are you and where is he?
We're at home.
If you say we are still here, I'm locked in the bathroom. All right, I'm on my way. I'm going to let my husband know where I'm going, because he knows his wife. He most likely will say, well, I'm coming with you, because he does not get down with domestic violence. He too lost a really good friend that same way. So we riding together. Now we come in peacefully. We absolutely do. Brandon will make sure the dude don't come near her, and I'm getting you out of the house. You got kids, the baby's coming too. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to see where your head is. But if I see that you are not ready to let it go, I'm not giving my marriage's energy into your relationship. But I'm still a friend, but I'm a wife first.
So what if she's not so vocal? What if she doesn't say, hey, this is what happened, but you see the signs?
If she's
how do
quiet,
you approach it?
I just have to keep asking probing questions. How's everything going at home? How are you? How's he doing? Oh, okay. So are y'all on good terms right now? Everything good? Okay, because you've been kind of distant. Like, what's going on? And I call more than I text, because I can tell things in a voice. Text message has gotten us away from really knowing how our friends are doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a caller. I'm gonna call you.
Yeah.
You text me. Okay, I know you're available. I'm calling. Like, and
I don't
you don't
like to
answer.
text. I'm driving.
I'm
I
a
don't
call.
wanna text.
Right. You know me. I'm old school. Like, I want to talk to you. I want to hear your voice, because you can tell with how you talk. Like, I pay attention to people's energy, and you can see a lot in eyes.
Yeah.
And right now, some of my friends have sad eyes, and it bothers the hell out of me. But I can only do so much. Like, I can only do so much. However, I'm not a sit back and watch. I can't. But if I see that you absolutely don't want my involvement, I'm just going to have to pray. I'm never going to stop praying, like, ever. And I'm just going to pray that things get better. Because if you tell me, you know, this is my house, this is how I'm going to do stuff, you know, mind you.
I'm grown.
All right. Do your thing. And I might say something smart, like, all right, keep getting your grown ass beat then. And I'm going to do that so that you can see, like, this is what I think of you right now. this is not you. And I'm going to remind them of how they were raised.
Right.
And I'm going to remind them of their value. I speak life into my friends all the time, whether they want to receive it or not.
Amen.
But you got to know your value. You have to. Because if you don't know your value, they're going to pull on that. And my men too.
You teach people how to treat you.
Yeah, we got to speak life into our men. Men are getting beat the hell up, especially our black men. Now, all you other men, y'all cool, but all my black men, black men have been getting beat since they came here.
Yeah.
And so I'm not
emotionally and verbally drag
yes, we do. I'm not, man, our mouths, child, listen, cause mine
you
is,
ain't shit, you sorry ass nigga, and
and we have to stop, because that is still a form of abuse.
Exactly.
You
and
may
that's why I
drive this
mention it.
man he don't want to put his hands on you, like Tavon, he's not going to do so, but you done made him so mad.
But it builds up.
He goes out into the world and somebody says the wrong thing to him. He might beat this man to death because of all of the anger he's been holding on, so he don't beat your ass to death.
That's happened.
So you guys, we have to be mindful. Like, you speak, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Like, you have to be careful on how you talk to people and how you put your mouth on people. It's something I'm learning, which is why I can tell y'all about this.
I'm sorry, but X-rated with how you put your mouth on people.
That part too.
That head game too strong, you might make them, they go absolutely crazy, and then
they do go cuckoo. If y'all got to be careful. If he's not the one you want to stay with, don't give him all of it. Don't give her all of it.
Watch how you put your mouth on them.
In both ways. It's pillow talk. We had to flip it.
Absolutely. But then you also have to understand, and what I think I want people to understand is that, especially when you're seeking self-help, allow yourself time.
Yeah. Oh, I want to. Where do we got applause?
It's not
We need that. Yes.
I've always listened to people who have this time frame as to how long they're going to give themselves to get themselves together. And it's always, I always am a person who's going to support that. Cause I'm like, hey, that's a goal that you set. Let's reach it. But I've seldomly seen it happen to where it's like, okay, you've got everything completely together. Cause you really, in hindsight, you really never do.
Yep.
But as far as that time where you're seeking self-help and you're trying to really thoroughly, genuinely get rid of the stuff that you have harnessed for so long. For me, I was always naive and denial with my PTSD from my military experiences and all that. And I realized maybe 2 or 3 years ago, like, I was really in a bad space mentally to where I knew that I was doing things that I wasn't raised to do. It wasn't in my nature to do it. And for the people who saw it and called me out on it, like, I knew they weren't lying.
That's what's up. You had people to call you out on your shit, though.
Yeah, and even with them calling me out on it, it was a sense of me saying, you know what, I feel you, I did, but I got it under control. Hold each other accountable. I got it under control. Which
did you?
I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't have it under control, but it took me just being in a space where I was just all alone. I really I didn't know how to explain what I was going through, but it took me to just say, I know for damn sure I don't want to be like this. And so I've allowed myself to
take that time.
To take that time and be more responsive to therapy. I remember my first therapy session, and I still to this day can't even remember the lady that I was talking to. But I remember just telling her when we sat down, we was in like a real common area space. Like, it was a real therapy room. Cause that's the first thing I said. I was like, oh, this is what the therapy room looks like. I was like,
was the tissue on the side?
It was tissue right there. It was a long, comfortable couch. She sat across this big leather maroon chair, and she was just like, go. And I was just like,
you just poured it all out?
I didn't pour it all out because I was naive to being like,
I need a bacchiotomy.
This therapy stuff don't work for
I'll
people
just
like
go back
me.
to How High. Is that the movie? No, Half Baked. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, but I was just like,
session.
but I told her, I was like, I think my opening statement was just like, I'm not happy with me. And that was that. I was like, I'm not happy with me. I'm not happy as to what I've become since XYZ happened. And it allowed me to tap into the things that I didn't necessarily get to tap into with talking with my mom, with talking with my dad, with talking with my grandmother and other people and with my siblings. And
feelings
stuff like
that you had kept repressed.
Yeah. And it was, it got me to a point where it was like, I'm not a failure and I'm not a bad person. I've just had a bad patch of shit that I've harnessed for so long and thinking that if I just not address it, or if I just hold it, it'll just leave.
And it doesn't. We have to learn to deal with those emotions.
And it doesn't, because there's always, the reason why I say it doesn't ever leave is because there's always like certain instances that will bring up a reminder. It might not be a full blown throttle moment that just thrusts you into it, but it's a clicker. It's like a reminder of, that's how.
So did therapy help you deal with those triggers?
The therapy helped me deal with the triggers. I also became more self-indulgent in meditation.
Self-awareness. That's dope.
I've always been that person. And then it was just the comedy. The comedy, as far as expressing it to a point where I could feel cool about letting people know my vulnerability. You know what I mean? And then just because I've always been funny. But one of the things, like one of my homeboys said, he said, look, man, I know you funny. He said, and I know you're funny as a defense mechanism. He was like, but you know what's going to be real hilarious? When you decide to let people just know you for real. When you decide to let go of you and give it to the people, you're going to be super funny. He was like, you dope now. He was like, but you dope due to your defense mechanism, because that's how we was raised.
Right. So
that's
that's
how we was raised. Like our defense mechanism was like, you had to learn how to roast. You had to learn how to joke. Like that was your right to, and it was to the point because I grew up in a funny family. Like any family function that I go to, when my uncles and my brothers and my sister and my cousins, if we're if the family's full-fledged there, it's jokes. It's jokes. And it doesn't, and it will swing. Everybody will get their moment to where it's like, okay, the whole room is against me, and you got to fight through that. It's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet to where, and then nobody's safe. Like nobody's safe.
Not even the babies.
Not even the babies. And we be like, no, it's the baby. And like,
and still be.
Yeah, don't be that person. Be like, this is our baby. We talking, well, now it's on you. Since you wanted to intervene.
Since you want to defend him so bad.
That's how I was raised. So all throughout my life, it was my defense attack was to go on the offensive and be the jokester. And then so when I made the conscious decision that being a comedian was going to be like my career and stuff like that, everybody was like, about damn time, dude. Like, this is what you was made to do. And like, I had friends who was telling me like, yeah, cause we was tired of you faking
that's
like
funny.
you was just gonna be this military, just soldier, G.I. Joe nigga. Like, that's not you. You know what I mean? They was like, that's not you. We know you like to fight. You like to be a protector, but you a funny dude. Like, so people embracing that took a load off. But then even with trying to figure out like, what's my niche? And like I said, I had friends and I had people who said, look, man, you have to let go of you. And we know it's hard. We know it's going to be hard, and it's going to be embarrassing.
And it's going to be ugly.
Uncomfortable.
Did you have an ugly cry?
You know what? I do.
Did you have an ugly cry?
No, I got an ugly cry.
But
I got
did
an ugly
you
cry.
have like
in the therapy?
No, not even with therapy. Just even with yourself, when you finally really saw yourself. That one you feel like deep in your chest.
Oh
you
yeah.
Sound,
It was that one. It's that one.
Get stuck.
like, yeah, what? Y'all just see his.
Yeah, I got that. And it was even to that extent, to where I would try to toughen my cry. Like, I didn't want to see, I didn't want people to see.
You took away your masculinity?
That, not even that. It was just
because big girls don't cry and men just don't cry at all.
Little black boys are told forever, don't cry, suck that shit up.
But that's why they don't tell when they going through these domestic violence situations, because you're not as much of a man if you going through this. You
right, like how you letting her you that you supposed to be.
I was always that person, like when my parents will whip me or hit you with the pop and then say don't cry, or I'll give you something to cry about. And I told my mom, I said no, that you did it just there, you did it right there.
You gave
that
me
was
something
it.
to cry.
That's I am crying from that.
I hate that. You bet not cry. What you mean?
Yeah, so even with that, I wasn't comfortable with letting people see me with my ugly cry. I wasn't comfortable
that vulnerability.
With that. Yeah, because it to me, it just felt like, okay, you're seeing me at my weakness. And I don't think you're here to help me in that. I think my whole thing was, you're going to see me with my ugly cry. You're going to see what it took me. And now you're going to use that. You're going to play with that. And so my thing was, hold it in as much as you can. Let the tears flow.
But you'll eventually let it out.
You'll eventually let it out.
And it felt great.
It felt great. Like when I really decided, you know what? I know in my next relationship, I'm not going to be able to be this person, because I don't want to be this person, because this person's just, this shit's never going to be successful. So I had to learn to re-trigger, refine what it is that I wanted to be, what it is that made me love. And what is it that I love? What is it that I want to produce in loving someone else? But I also had to know that I had to be completely in tune with what it is and who I am in order to do so. And I decided, I was just like, look, I'm not going to just be fucking with y'all like for a minute. And however long that is, that's how long it's going to take.
Well, I appreciate your transparency, because you just let, number one, a lot of black men know it's okay to go to therapy.
And I applaud you for that.
So thank you for opening up to that.
Absolutely.
Number two, he cried. And I need for us women, black women, stop making it like your black man can't cry. Y'all, if y'all only knew how much they suppress for us to save face. I'm not saying that this is the only reason why they put hands and act out in rage, but they are not taught that it's okay to let it out the healthy way.
So what about the flip side of that? Why are women doing this to the men?
Why are they? Because we're trying to pump our own chest out. Because for so long, we've been, kind of suppressed and told to shut up. Once we were finally allowed to have a voice, we didn't know how to shut up anymore. Like, it was like, I'm going to let y'all have all of this. Y'all going to know how we felt about you allowing the slave master to sleep with us, how you allowed these things to happen, how you didn't protect me, you didn't come to my rescue. So now I'm finna call you a bitch ass nigga because you made all of this happen and now it's all your fault.
Right.
I'm living on Section 8 because you keep leaving me with all these kids.
That's real.
I'm having to go sit in the welfare office for 4 hours because you left me with all these kids, because you haven't been able to handle your emotions and realize that you are no longer a slave. You are allowed to stand up and be a man. Like, we have to stop allowing that to dictate who we are. Men are beating because that's what they see.
Yeah.
But they watched it from men who saw it and saw it and saw it. And it was like, finally, when black men got a chance to give the beating back, now we're beating our women and our children. Instead of beating the system by getting your education,
Girls say that.
Building a business, put all that energy into something, and I promise it's going to be great. Women, you as well. This mouth you got, because I learned to get my mouth to podcast, because I knew I had a story to tell and I knew I had stuff to get out. So podcast it was for me. I thank Los for opening up that door, because I would have never thought to do podcasts. And so, it's like everyone, like with you and your comedy, you found your outlet. Like, you have to find something to put all of this. It could be rage at first, but then it turns into love. Then it turns into success. And then it helps your generations heal. And I didn't mean to get deep on y'all, but that's just
it's deep. That's just
where it's
real.
at.
That's
because
real.
we got to stop beating each other down.
I do think our kids are going to be better, though, because the way that we're learning self-love at such a young age. 30 and younger, that's young. And so teaching them how to self-love, like my nephew, for instance, he doesn't have the best mom, but we took him in, we raised him. We allow him to cry. We're very honest with him. We don't try to hold secrets against him. We let him show emotion. When he's upset,
secrets is where that trauma, drama, and all that other bullshit comes in.
The secrets. We don't keep secrets from him. His biggest thing is, tell me where you going. He gets so mad if we don't tell him that we're leaving, or if we're going to work, he wants to come with us. So just allowing him to have that amount of openness to speak his mind. He's not disrespectful, but a lot of people, when you're younger, like grandmas, for instance, shut your mouth. Don't say anything. But we
Mind
allow
your
him.
business.
And they grow up as angry, violent women and men.
Exactly. So we allow him to tell us how he's feeling. If you're feeling some type of way, if you're hurt, if I hurt your feelings, he'll be mad for a second and then be like, come, Ari, you hurt my feelings when you said this. And I'm like, okay, well, now I know that this hurt your feelings, so I'm not going to do it again.
That's dope.
And then just having that amount of openness with your children and teaching them how to have self-respect. Because I think that's the biggest thing that comes with domestic violence, is because you don't know how to love yourself. You
or how to communicate.
Or communicate. You know how to love others. You know how to give your love to others. But I don't think in our community we're not taught how to love ourselves. And that comes with reading. That comes with knowledge. That comes with having the self-awareness. That comes with self-esteem. Looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you're beautiful. Especially for me. I didn't know I was as beautiful as I was until last year.
Really?
Until after my last relationship, I'd had no clue how amazing of a person I am.
So did that relationship cause you to question your own beauty? Is that what it was? Was it
I think with him, he knew my worth, but I didn't know my worth. So me not knowing my worth allowed him to treat me
treat you less than.
Treat me less than. And everybody else around me is like, oh, you're so amazing. You're this, you're that. But if I don't see it in myself, you can't tell me shit.
Right. Right.
And so it really took me getting up and reading books. It took me looking in the mirror and pointing out little things that I liked about myself, or like liking my body, or finding what I like about my personality and having that self-love. Now you can't treat me anyway.
Right.
You can't talk to me any type of way. And if I find anything, my biggest thing is emotional manipulation. And in relationships, this dude that I was talking to, I got him past, like, we're young, whatever. But as soon as I see
it starts young.
Yeah. But as soon as I see that emotional manipulation where you can't take blame for things that you do, I'm out.
Yeah. And the jealousy and all of that are all signs and symptoms that this is not right.
And a lot of people think that your lover can't be jealous of you.
It's the extreme jealousy too.
And your lover can be extremely jealous. Like one of my exes that I had, he would always be like, I love how your family is. I love everything. And my family is very opening and warm to everyone. And I love how you guys are. But he was so jealous of it and saying like, oh, I want this with you. I want this with you. But when you're around us, you're
standoffish.
Yeah, you're standoffish, or you want to pick arguments with my sister. Don't ever argue with my sister.
Because you got her back, right?
She likes to lounge on the elevator. Like, y'all better back up off her sister.
You can try it if you want to.
And it's 4 of y'all.
Right.
You can have Jay-Z money.
5 sisters, 1 brother.
5 sisters, 1 boy.
Okay.
So don't try it with my family.
So it's 4 backups coming plus the brother as reinforcements. Don't do it.
We keep getting to one point in self-love. Like, for real. It starts with yourself.
Because if you love yourself, you can get out of that too.
Everyone has said self-love. Like, you have to love yourself. Like, you have to love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you wouldn't let yourself do these ugly things.
Or get into these ugly situations.
Exactly. If you know you're still toxic, don't put yourself into a relationship. Sometimes it'll work itself out. I'm an example. I was toxic as hell when me and Brandon first got together. However, thank God he's a praying man and he has a praying mama, and he had people praying for him and I had people praying for me because he was toxic too. He just didn't know it. And so when you let out that ugly cry and you get to see how ugly you're acting, you fix you. And I don't recommend you fixing yourself in a relationship. I thank God that we were able to do so, but fix you by yourself the way Tavon did it. Take the time to do it yourself. don't hop from relationship to relationship thinking that relationship is going to heal you from this relationship.
Spreading that poison.
Because you're toxic now. And now you're hopping from one toxic situation to another. And then you're taking on their toxicness as well because they may not know what they're dealing with. And so now you're holding all of this.
You heard of the fruit of the poisonous tree?
Yeah. And so now you're holding all of it. So you have to let it out. And I think that is, to me, that's like the root of domestic violence is not having that self-love or self-awareness. That and having your mental health in check. To me, those are the two main things. Because even if you say, well, mom and them did it. Yeah, because they didn't deal with self. They didn't handle themselves because they were told that therapy was for white people. Let's just keep it transparent. Like, you crazy if you go sit on a couch. That makes you crazy. You want to be one of them crazy people? Like, let's just keep it real. That's how we were talked to.
Right. And that's why we had to applaud him for actually going and taking that step.
Like, I can't wait for my session. Like, I need therapy, y'all. Like, yeah, I've found other outlets, but there's still that something in me that I need to still fix. My daughter is 14 and she's going to therapy. So it's like there's things that happen and it's not just for one race of people.
No.
It's for everyone who needs it. Now, I don't condone letting them get you stuck on meds to where you're like a zombie through life. That I don't believe in because it really is something that I feel that you can meditate and pray your way through with help. Not just prayer. We're not going back to grandma and them. You just need to pray about it. No, I need help too, grandma. Like, you need help too. Like, God, those of you, as well. Like, the Most High put these people here with this knowledge that went to school for this stuff so that they can help you attack what's in you because you obviously can't see it for yourself.
Right.
So it all ties into one another. But like, for real, take it back to grade school. Keep your hands, feet, and all objects to yourself. And if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing
because
at all.
Because in grade school, some mamas teach them if they hit you,
I'm talking about what the teacher said.
Oh, because we have mamas at home and they train them.
My mama was one of them.
If they hit you, you knock them the hell out. Yeah. I had mamas who told sons, if that little girl is man enough to hit you, she man enough to get beat like a man. Knock her little ass out too.
I told my son that if a girl hits you, like right now he 5. If a little girl hits you, tell the teacher because you're not supposed to hit women. Now, if we get to adult life and your girl decides she beat on you, call your sister. But still, don't put your hands on no woman. Like, just don't. Eliminate yourself from that situation. But women, for real, keep your hands to yourself because we do not have man strength. We don't. And so, yeah, Yola punched and do nothing to him, but when he punched you, you fell the hell out. It was the same punch. It just came from a man and you had a woman punch. Stop putting your hands on people. And women, like, seriously, let your chest in a little bit. Like, don't puff it out.
You're supposed
all
to be
day long.
Soft and sensual,
it's okay.
Not hard.
It's okay to be a woman, but we have to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And men, y'all have to help us. But women, we also have to allow men to be men. But men, y'all got to give us a reason. Like, y'all have to help us. But like I said, teacher said, hands, feet, and all objects to yourself. And if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
And fellas, she's got so many pillows on the bed. Just toss one. Every now and again. Just on her way to the bathroom. Just
I saw the pillow going too.
Stupid. Oh my gosh.
I found it rather therapeutic. Just the one time where I was just like,
pillow therapy. There you go. And if you don't want to go to therapy, there are hotlines. There are so many hotlines that are available.
Or do a journal. Write it down.
Write it down. So many ways to deal with it.
Just get it out your system. Yeah. Don't bottle it up.
Release.
Watch cartoons.
These cartoons now, I don't know.
You got watch cartoons.
Started the violence. Bugs Bunny hitting niggas over the head and shit and all of that. That's where it started as a child. We was taught to fuck people up and
Rugrats. Angelica was a fucking bully. I wanted to whoop Angelica ass. I love when Susie came on the show because Susie put Angelica in her place.
Angelica.
Nah, but I watch cartoons, man.
Watch comedy. Comedy is always lightens up.
Yeah.
And music. Music is my therapy.
Yeah.
But you guys, like, seriously, if you are in a situation and you are unsure of how to get out, or if you're afraid that if you let this person go, your life is going to fall apart, or you're just unsure, if you don't feel comfortable talking to your friends, because sometimes it is because of embarrassment, talk to someone. Like, talk to someone. Like, really, you have to get it out, because the longer you stay in it, the harder it's going to be for you to be freed of that. So you absolutely have to take the first step and talk to someone. Like with my friends and associates, you don't have to talk to me because I know how I am. I'm working on it. But I pray that you talk to somebody and not yourself, because yourself is stuck.
Or
so
you
please
can talk to us at PillowTalk _ podcast.
Tavon
On
with the
Facebook.
therapy, he can help you out.
Right. We even have a whole group that y'all don't hardly talk in. So start talking about it. But that's good points. That's
no,
really
seriously,
good
you
points.
have to talk, because you have to. Some things happen fast and you're like, whoa, did he or she just really put their hands on me? So you still processing it. I get that, but say something to somebody.
I think another thing is that people feel like they're alone in situations. Like, I know, for instance, I felt like I was the only person going through this, but when I opened up and finally talked,
It's like
my
a
mom
million
was like,
people.
there's a lot of people that go through this.
NoMore.org. It says you are not alone. Mm-hmm. That is so real. That is so real. I'm glad you said that, because
You're not.
isolation. People stay in isolation because they're afraid that they're the only one who has dealt with this, who has gone through this. And that's why we want to have this conversation, to be open and have this open dialogue. So they know, like, he ain't got his ass beat, but I mean, we all go through some shit.
And I have.
You have?
Emotionally.
Like you said, we tough. Us sisters, we are tough. We are. And we will lash y'all, give y'all a good lashing just with the tongue. So
One more thing. Sorry, y'all. I know this is going long. I was on the internet the other day, and the girl had posted, she was like, your grandparents' relationship that is 50 years plus isn't relationship goals, because most likely your grandmother has been dealing with that man cheating,
yes,
hitting,
yes,
beating, all of those things. And I think we look at marriage as a whole as a relationship goals, but you don't see what's been going on those 30 plus years,
behind
those
the
40
scenes.
plus years.
Yeah.
So I think it really comes down to, once again, self-love, knowing what your tolerance is. And people are always like, oh, unconditional love, unconditional. My love has conditions.
I heard that.
That part.
I heard the fuck out of that.
You're not
Man.
going to talk to me anyway.
But that's what's instilled in us
Okay.
from grandma, from grandpa, that you ride or die. You stick it out. You
I'm not
give.
riding.
When you say we don't take care of ourselves, we don't do self-love, because we're not taught, as Black women, we're not taught to do that. We give. Forget about you. As long as your family is taken care of, we're pouring from empty cups a lot of times, and you can't pour from an empty cup. My cup needs to filleth over. I need to give you from my saucer. My cup needs to stay full, and I feed you from my saucer. That way I always have a surplus.
And one thing, self-love and self-care is not taking a bath every Sunday.
Please take a bath every day. Please
Did
take
you
one
post
every
that?
day,
Was that
please.
you? Somebody posted that yesterday. Like, self-love is more than spas and manicures.
It's prayer. It's ugly. It hurts. It's painful. But once you get over it, it's beautiful. It's amazing. You feel at one with yourself.
Now, I want to give a disclaimer. Those that are listening and you are in a situation, there's no judgment here. Yes, we made light of this topic. I had to, because I would have cried. But we know it's serious, and we know it's not easy to get out, especially when you have lost yourself in it. So I don't want you all listening to think that there's judgment passed. We just want you to know that we're on here and we've been through it.
And that you can find yourself to get out.
You absolutely can. And so it's not impossible. It does have to be on your time. And don't feel rushed, but please don't take more time than you have to. And if this person is doing it, they're not going to stop just because they said sorry that time. They said sorry the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. So there has to come a point where you realize that either you're just going to choose to stay in this, and this is just going to be your life, and this is what you're going to pass on to your children, or you are going to get out, fix you. Please don't hop into another relationship. Fix you. And then grow from there.
And see, it's
not go from there. You're going to have to grow from there.
I had to have a baby to get out. I had to do it for my child.
And but the thing is you birthed something. So to me, life, it's new things. And I'm not going to get all spiritual, but you birthed something.
And that was that enlightenment.
But then from there, you never really got to self-heal. I'm not going to go there because we on podcast, but you still have some healing to do. But it's I ain't gonna Ayanla fix my life on this podcast. But
they say Ayanla the devil anyway, so truth might be taking over for Ayanla.
I mean, hey, but the thing is I'm not gonna get confrontational with it. I'm not gonna bring people to fight.
That part.
Yeah, but the thing is you gotta understand that she gotta do ratings or they gonna put her show off. So unfortunately, she's in a rock and a hard place. I still like Ayanla. I respect her knowledge. She's a very smart woman. But I'm still trying to meet Oprah, so let me be nice. But no, seriously, y'all, just don't go from pillow to pillow. Like, take some time. I'm just going to keep saying it. Take some time. And love does have conditions. And love does not hurt. Sometimes it may piss you off. Sometimes it may frustrate you, but it shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't be to a point to where you feel broken. You should never feel broken. You should never feel like you're alone in a relationship. Marriage is not easy. My marriage has been through some things. But when I take out a pen and paper and I write down the good and the bad, the good always outweighs the bad. And he don't put his hands on me because he know I'm batshit crazy. But no, that's just not within him. It's not in him. He's like, Tavon, let me go outside and take a walk because you're getting reckless. So I'm going to go outside. I'm finna go ahead and spark this J and I'm going to go and I'm going to get my mind right. Talk to God, come back in the house. You still mad? Oh, well, let me stay down here. You need to pray or something.
I'm going to take the bike this time because I walked hella far. I need to get back.
Meditation's good. Affirmation's good. Reading is always good. Journaling's good. Gym. Don't eat. Don't stress eat. Don't do that. Because then you're going to be big. Then you're really not going to like yourself. Then it's going to be even harder for you to leave. And then they're going to call you fat ass.
Unless
and then
you're skinny mini and you're trying to get thick. Like, back up. Because
still don't
stress
eat
bad.
because it's unhealthy. Like, don't stress eat. Don't let food be your outlet. Find positive outlets. It'll help you get your life together. And
then once you understand how to recognize domestic violence and sexual assault, you can learn how to respond to someone who may need your help. Exactly. So paying attention to the signs, not being afraid to speak up because your friend gonna say, mind your business because you care and you are my friend. So you are my business. Hey, so get help, seek therapy. Again, there are hotlines out there. There are a million resources. Men, don't be afraid. You are not alone. 1in6.org. There you go. 1 in 6 men are victims of sexual assault and violence. Yes. So we have those. There's domestic awareness hotline, all of that. We'll post some links in the group to try to get y'all active, please. We got anything else we want to talk about on this topic, y'all?
No.
Just say no.
He's still crying.
Just say no to violence.
That face. Oh, I should have took it.
Y'all, we need that picture. Right? Do it one more time.
I'm not doing it again.
He said, nope, y'all not getting me. It's done. I'm done crying.
We're done crying
the
here.
Ugly cry.
But thanks, y'all, for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
I thought I was going to cry. I didn't. That's why I didn't
I knew it was a
long.
topic close to your heart, which is why we definitely want to have you on here. You know, I think we all have had someone close to us be a victim of domestic violence, if not ourselves. I lost a really valuable woman a few years ago. Her husband beat her with a bat while her children were home.
Yeah. Well, before we end, I just have to say her name. Her name was Brittany. She was amazing. She has 3 boys, and her mom, Mimi, is doing an amazing job. And the other name is Brandon, and he was her brother, and they both were lost because of domestic violence. So, yes.
In their memory of all those we've lost, you know, we got to do better. Like you said, keep your hands, feet, and all objects to yourself unless you want to be like Tavon and grab the pillows.
I mean, unless you having sex, like, you can use objects, hands, and things.
And on next week's episode.
I had to do it one time for the pillow talk. But no, in all seriousness, like, it matters. It hurts people. Lots of people.
Yeah, more than just the person who's physically being hurt. You know, it trickles down. Definitely. Well, we enjoyed you. Thanks for dropping all of those truthful gems and knowledge. Him.
What's happening?
Thank you for crying on air. Thank you.
Got him. Y'all stay tuned for that photo.
Jesus.
All right. So, Lady Truth, where can people find you, ma'am?
I'm Lady Truth everywhere now, y'all. That is me. That is who I am. Facebook,
Even on the license plate.
Even on the license plate.
Driving down I-15.
I'm like, who the hell is honking? I know he saw my face when I first looked over. Like, what the fuck you honking at me for? He laughed and I look over and he like that. I can't stand it. I say, you should have had your ass in that lane in the first place.
They threw me over there. They threw me over there. On I-15, you take what lane is open because you never know.
But I do have a women empowerment event coming up December 2nd. Yes, the tickets are $65 this go round. The reason being is because y'all having Stake It, Cater It, and the venue is amazing. And the speakers are going to be amazing. And I may say a word or two this go round. But no, in all seriousness, you guys need to get there. The last event was amazing. And I stepped it up a notch just for y'all. That's why I'm not sleeping. That's why I got bags under my eyes.
Well, every event is like one above the next one. Because think of the first one when you started at Bahama Breeze and I was cussing out niggas for cupcakes and shit.
Exactly. It seriously has grown, y'all. Like, for real, this is my baby. And I'm not doing, I know a lot of people do stuff for publicity. As my face ain't even on my flyer. It's not for me. It's
and she don't step
needed.
up to the mic half the time at the events. Let's just be real. Okay.
It's for y'all because women, we are broken. And I just need for us to start loving on each other and stop competing so much. So please come out. It's all over all of my social medias. And then stay tuned for the Shift Talk Show. I had to put that up.
Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. Ms. Jade.
Hello.
Where can the people find you, Love Bug?
You can find me on Instagram at arianajade.w.
Him?
Obviously, y'all can find me crying now on the side of the table. You know, getting in touch with my side. No, y'all can find me Tavon Greatness on all social media outlets. You can also talk to me, chat it up with me on the Pillow Talk podcast Facebook page.
Here you go with the Pillow Talk.
Yeah.
We had dropped the at the beginning. Like, you
not worried about it.
You didn't brought the back.
I brought the back. But no, Tavon Greatness on all social media networks. You can find me, dibbling and dabbling on stages around the Las Vegas area. About to get out to LA a lot more. So, just stay tuned. I'm around crying and shit.
Stupid. And you can find me. No, I'm kidding. I am Mrs. Jackson, MRZK. Wait, no, I fucked that all the way up. Y'all know how to spell Jackson, like Michael, MRZJAKCSON. Follow us on Instagram, pillow_talk podcast.
Yep.
Facebook, Pillow Talk, Sin in the City. We got a group, Pillow Talking, with him, me, Miss Jade. Support Like Water for Chocolate. You can catch Truth on there since she didn't plug her own show.
Because I didn't want to take, they know where I'm at. I just want to talk about the other things they don't know.
Well, maybe
Like
they don't. We have new listeners
also.
So yes, stay tuned for Like Water for Chocolate.
November.
And we appreciate y'all, as always, Beat Network Online, for all of your cultural content. It's been a pleasure.
Peace.
Until next week.